You're here. I've been waiting for you for so long. So long. So long.
Hi guys, sorry for the delay because I had some stuff to do, and I hope you are fine. And let's go.
Father, I have arrived.
Just in time, Rubicon. Look at the water lilies in the pond. They were brought here from Memphis. This is a tribute from the governor of Memphis Province. The lilies were plucked 20 days ago from the banks of the Memphis River, delicately immersed in jars filled with fresh water, transported on a ship across the Philistine Sea, and swiftly brought to Javriel. Today marks the onset of the flowering season. It would be a waste to enjoy these flowers alone, so I invited you to accompany me. I have also extended invitations to others. General Sarvis resides nearby in his mansion, and he should be joining us shortly. Are you acquainted with him?
Yes, I know him. Sarvis is a valiant general.
Knowing him is not enough, Rubicon. As my heir, you must remain well informed about all the developments in Javriel. Sarvis was recently promoted to the rank of youngest senator. It is imperative that you maintain a close relationship with him in the times to come.
Understood, Father. I shall pay him a visit later.
Well, that won't be necessary. He's already arrived.
Your Majesty.
Rise, Sarvis. Now, we await the arrival of High Priest Mirari. Sarvis, you have accomplished remarkable military triumphs on my behalf. I had promised that on the day of your senatorial promotion, you may select any city within my empire as your fiefdom, excluding Javriel. Have you made your decision?
By the grace of your Majesty.
Let's skip the formalities of the Senate. Choose your city, and I shall grant it to you. Leave the pleasantries and bureaucratic matters to others.
I desire a land as warm and inviting as your Majesty's garden.
While numerous warm lands lie within my dominion, only one city possesses a garden-like charm. Your discernment is commendable, for you have chosen a place even I find difficult to part with.
Like these two emperors look like that game, the Fire Emblem. I was asking, and that makes sense. They will look like characters from Fire Emblem.
Very well. Bellefontaine shall be yours. Tend to her with care, for she is a unique and precious flower, even amidst my vast garden. Ah, here comes the High Priest as well.
Greatness be upon you, my lord. May your reign endure as long as the Tiberius River flows through the Eternal City.
Indeed, at my age, divine favor is required to sustain my rule over this nation for much longer.
Worry not, Father. Your radiance shines as brightly as the sun that illuminates the entirety of Japheth.
You've picked up the rhetoric of those eloquent orators, Rubicon. But have you ever seen a day when the sun does not set?
I mean no disrespect, Father.
I know you do not. While your words are flattering, I believe I truly merit such praise. I no longer require badges, scepters, or crowns to demonstrate my power. Nor do my accomplishments necessitate statues, poems, or triumphal arches to extol their glory anymore. The Senate recently bestowed upon me the title of the Sacred One. I wonder, on the day of my departure, whether the artisans will find all my titles. Frequently, I have wondered what further achievements I can attain during my remaining time. My generals have conquered the entire civilized world known to us, and the remaining lands are either too remote or too desolate. My empire has transformed the Philistine Sea into an inland lake. In this regard, I've surpassed all previous emperors in history. When I inherited Javriel, it was constructed of bricks. And when I pass it on to you, Rubicon, my beloved son, it shall be a grand, eternal city. You mentioned the sun earlier, which brings something to mind. The governor of Memphis province sent me a letter along with the flowers. In his letter, he mentioned an ancient legend cherished by the people of Memphis, asserting that their god of the sun was captured by conquerors from the east. According to them, the conquerors hailed from a realm known as the Arsacid Empire. Have you ever heard of that place?
To the best of my knowledge, the Arsacid Empire lies far to the east of our domain, inhabited by different people with a distinct culture. This region is situated near another sea.
The Memphian legend concerning the god of the sun appears to lack veracity. It is merely a deity concocted by simplistic individuals for their own peace of mind.
I understand your piety, Mirari. However, there have been countless gods worshipped in the lands conquered by Japheth. Since the native people believe in those gods, it implies that those gods have favored them, and we Japhethians won't interfere with their beliefs. With that said, it is surprising to hear claims that gods walk the earth as tangible beings that can be captured like treasures. Now, I find that interesting. Rubicon, Sarvis, and Mirari, go to the Arsacid Empire and see it for me. If the god of the sun is truly there, bring it back to my throne. Only Javriel deserves an everlasting son.
Father, what should we do to the kings and land of the Arsacid Empire?
I desire the sun only. If they decline my request, destroy them all. And if they willingly relinquish it, you may decide their fate. Well, I have spent too much time discussing a tiny piece of land. Let us enjoy these splendid water lilies before the sun sets.
Finally. This is the fabled tower that reaches the heavens.
Back in Javriel, I heard tales of it. The tales spoke of how the ancient people aspired to reach the heavens, and thus the tower was constructed. When its foundations were laid, the land was still known by its original name, Obed. I always believed it to be nothing more than fiction. I never imagined that the descendants of Obed continued to build upon it. The dreams of mankind are truly remarkable.
From the way you spoke just now, one would think that we didn't emerge victorious in our great conquest, General Sarvis.
High Priest, I am sure you can sense that even as conquerors, our splendor of victory pales in comparison to this tower. We are facing something that cannot be conquered by force and will never bow to humans.
You speak the truth. It is not only blood and sword that invoke awe. It is the achievements built upon intangible foundations that endure.
Today, for the first time, the Japhethians bear witness to this marvel, and poets will compose new songs to commemorate this event.
This is our shared feat. Together, our names will be engraved on the next arch of triumph in Javriel.
But before your triumph, Your Highness, we have much to accomplish. What shall we do with the subjects of the Arsacid Empire?
They have surrendered, so I have ordered our troops to cease fighting and rest.
However, if the Arsacid Empire dares to resist, His Majesty's decree is to destroy it.
Father is the sun, and naturally, he does not concern himself with the insects scorched by his blazing light. But the people here are far away from Japheth. It is not their fault they are unaware of His Majesty's mighty name.
I understand your point, Your Highness. It has been said that we Japhethians are like a melting pot. There are 2 points behind that statement. First, we open our hearts and minds to all who are willing to submit. Second, if anyone is as stubborn as copper and iron, we will melt them with our fire until they become part of Japheth. Force and fear have been the best tools your father has employed for decades. Through them, the fire of Japheth's heart burns brighter and brighter. I agree that those methods are hardly the most effective. If Your Highness allows, I will find gentler ways to integrate the Arsacid Empire into our fold. If we can make the soldiers abandon their weapons for good, they will no longer pose a threat to us, and we will not need to shed their blood.
The High Priest makes a valid point. This approach would spare the lives of those people without contradicting my father's will. What do you think, Sarvis?
Well, I am just a general, and I focus on military affairs only. I will leave the decision on other matters to you and the High Priest.
Ah, Sarvis. It is evident that your knowledge and eloquence surpass those of your colleagues in the Senate. Yet, you humbly refer to yourself as just a general. I'll take that as a yes. High Priest, I hereby grant you the authority to handle the people of the Arsacid Empire at your discretion.
As you wish, Your Highness.
Now, it is time to claim the ultimate rewards for our arduous journey.
According to the historical accounts of the Arsacid Empire, It was the Emperor Darius who brought the god of the sun from Memphis to Obed 5 centuries ago. Darius once established the greatest empire in Obed. He made Memphis his province long before Japheth came into power.
If this realm were still under his rule, I might have respectfully approached their gates and dispatched a messenger to request an audience. A man who desires to possess the sun must be as ambitious as my father.
The Tower of Babel. That's the one thing in the world, besides the stars, deserving of my upward gaze. It's only fitting that the most glorious trophy should be placed in the highest place of my kingdom. I'm now entrusting it to you, Emeon.
What is this, Your Majesty?
A good question, and one that I would like to ask you, too. I have heard tales that beneath the majestic waterfalls of the Memphis River lies the dormant, ancient god of the sun. It once destroyed the capital of an ancient pharaoh and then sank into the river. So I conquered the land of that pharaoh and ordered countless individuals to dive into the waters, leaving no stone unturned. But the outcome was a great disappointment. The so-called god of the sun was no more than a copper sphere. While it's well crafted, the artisans of Obed could have created a work of art 10 times more intricate than that. I ordered my people to smash it on the spot. However, even the mightiest warriors of my immortal army could not destroy it. No weapon could even scratch its surface. I had craftsmen construct colossal pyres and burn it for 10 days, yet its shell remained unaltered. Finally, I instructed my warriors to transport it to the highest peak in Memphis and cast it off the cliffs. But it was the unyielding stones below that shattered, not the copper sphere. Since long ago, you have collected many extraordinary artifacts in this tower. And you have recruited numerous scholars from my land. I have never impeded or doubted your endeavors. But now, I am asking for a small favor in return. Unravel the mystery surrounding this sphere, and the reason why the Memphians revere it as the god of the sun. And find out the secret to its immortality.
Asti, hand me the sword. the letters used in the Arsacid Empire. It was one of the dynasties that existed in Obed about 2,000 years before our time. The dynasty lasted for centuries, so it's hard to pinpoint exactly where we are within that period.
Did you just bring us to some random point in time? You didn't even have a specific year or coordinates in mind? Just a vague idea? I can't believe it actually worked. Seriously, it's not like you scanned anything. It's more like cheating.
This is a legal document about the sale of grain and a deed to a farm. While it provides concrete information, it doesn't help us determine the exact time.
You're as reliable as ever. No wonder that old man wanted to make you the next director. Why did you throw them at me?
You can read them too, can't you?
Let's see what the heck we have here. Basic math, ledgers, lists of engineers, tax collection records, and tribute lists. All useless information. Wait. I found something, Zero.
This is a record written by the court scribe of the 5th Emperor. He was an unremarkable emperor in the history of Obed, and not well known. Throughout its long history, Obed has been the center of powerful empires at times, and has fallen under the control of other empires at other times. The 5th Emperor's reign belonged to the latter category. During that time, the Japheth Empire in the west, ruled by Emperor Thurinus, was at its peak. Thurinus' armies extended to the farthest reaches of the known world in all directions. In the east, they reached the Arsacid Empire. During his reign, Thurinus sent an expedition army led by his son Rubicon, the High Priest Marari, and General Sarvis to Obed. However, the expedition didn't result in Obed becoming a new province of Japheth, as was the case with other areas during that era. The reason for the truce remains a mystery, as no records or treaties were passed down through history. However, the Tower of Babel remained under its existing ownership during that war. Amaon, throughout different generations, protected it during all the crises and incidents, ensuring the library's safety and preservation.
That's a nice way of saying sitting on the fence. The knowledge stored in the tower is incredibly valuable, so no one would want to destroy it, right? Besides, those old chumps did have their talents, as long as they were willing to cooperate. No emperor in his right mind would give them a hard time. As much as it pains me to admit it, your ability is quite remarkable.
If I remember correctly, this is the second time you've asked me a question like this. My answer is still the same. But since this is your second question, I think it's best to give you more information. Arishan is the daughter of the previous director. Before my arrival, Cosmos planned to appoint her as the next director. My duty is to safeguard this tower and the Library of Babel. And naturally, that includes you as the current director.
What are you two whispering about back there? Hurry up and follow me. What a rudimentary ancient device. This is such a mess. It's like a battle just took place here.
Maybe that's exactly what happened. According to historical records, this is the time when the war between the main path ends here. Let's check out what's below.
Interesting fellow. Interesting fellow. Who's there?
Wait. You are...
You're Outlanders. No, wait. The symbols on your clothes.
Zero, you explain it to him.
So, you're travelers from the future. That's truly incredible. Since you're from the future, your clothes must also be from the future. No wonder I can't place their origin. The Library of Babel is truly full of wonders.
Could you tell us which era we are in?
Since you're from the future, you probably already know that the current ruler of Obed, the fifth emperor, is a disappointment.
Yeah, and we know that the Arsacid Empire was at war with the Japheth Empire. Has the war ended?
The war has ended. Despite Tharinius being advanced in years, he didn't underestimate his enemy, and prepared enough troops for a full-scale war. Unfortunately, he overestimated his opponent. The fifth emperor couldn't manage a single clash on the battlefield. As soon as he found out that Japheth only wanted a specific item from the Tower of Babel, he backed down immediately.
You don't seem to have a high opinion of your emperor. Is it acceptable for a subject to say such things?
Emperor. He's far from deserving that title.
You mentioned that Japheth only wanted a specific item from the tower. What is it?
I've heard that Rubicon's ultimatum mentioned Memphis's god of the sun. I've seen it a few times, but it's disappointing. It's just a huge metal ball that doesn't seem to have any connection to the sun other than its shape. I heard it was a trophy captured by Obed's past monarch, Emperor Darius, after conquering Memphis. The item was sent away by Rubicon a few days ago, and it should be close to the Ephrathoth on the coast of the Philistine Sea by now. Then it will be loaded onto a ship and sent to Javriel.
Looks like we're too late.
No, not yet. 2,000 years ago, Ephrathah by the Philistine Sea witnessed the final glimmer of Arten.
Ephrathah by the Philistine Sea? Hold on.
The Star of Ephrathah.
History sure loves to play tricks on us. So, you don't know how to control that copper sphere either.
No, we don't. Honestly, we wouldn't even know it's something that can be activated if you hadn't mentioned it. But since those Japhethians are so desperate to get their hands on it, they might have some knowledge about it. Interestingly, Prince Rubicon and his Praetorians are currently stuck in the library.
What did you just say?
Rubicon didn't leave after obtaining that God of the Sun. He learned about us in the Library of Babel from the fifth Emperor. Rubicon considered the library a treasure far more valuable than that copper sphere, so he took his soldiers inside the Tower of Babel. It happened to coincide with the opening of the library, so I'm not sure if we should call it lucky or unlucky.
So, you mean you can find him inside the Library of Babel?
Exactly. Unfortunately, I won't be able to accompany you for the rest of your journey. I need to find my companions as soon as possible.
That's all right. Thank you for all the information.
May the library be with you. Emayon from the future.
Now we know exactly what to do next. Hopefully, we'll find something this time. Since the Japhethians are after that copper sphere, they must have heard something about it, right?
Oh, it was an anomaly that appeared in Ephrathah, near the western shore of the Philistine Sea, around 2000 BC. According to historical records, a solitary star of unparalleled splendor emerged in the night sky above Ephrathah. Unlike other stars, it remained fixed over Ephrathah. The star was visible along the entire coast of the Philistine Sea, but it vanished shortly after its appearance, and hasn't been recorded in any astronomical observations since. Naturally, some might consider it a collective illusion, but for us Emeans, it was an undeniable anomaly. Since there were no Emeans in Ephrathah at that time, the truth behind this incident has remained a mystery for thousands of years. Until just now. Considering the time and location, it's safe to say that the Star of Ephrathah is Aten, which the Japhethian transported from the Alsacid Empire. Although it lasted only for a brief period, it did ascend back into the sky, emanating radiance and brilliance. The only question is this: who in this era discovered the command to activate it? These are traces left by the marching soldiers.
It seems like they're not far ahead. Let's hope we can still reason with those Japhethians in the tower.
blooming from the flames. In the name of Florence.
Interesting fellow.
Seems like those unwanted Japhethians are having some trouble too. So, if we lend them a hand now, they'll be more cooperative, right?
Looks like you've run into a bit of trouble. Waiting crescent!
Are you Emaons? Our general's looking for you.
Why bother being polite with these wicked sorcerers? We wouldn't be trapped in this never-ending labyrinth if it weren't for them.
General ordered us to treat Emaons with proper etiquette.
Well, let's skip the pleasantries. To be honest, we're looking for your commander, too. And you should already know that none of you will make it in this maze without us.
Are you threatening us?
Silence! I apologize. Our general's nearby, but this place is dangerous. Please allow us to clear a path ahead for you.
Despite all their fancy talks, they need our help in the end.
The fire is burning, blooming from the flames. In the name of Florence.
Thank you for coming to our aid once again.
No need to thank us. You mentioned your general is close, so I wonder where we can find His Royal Highness.
You filthy scum! How dare you ask about His Majesty's whereabouts? His Majesty showed great sincerity by bringing only dozens of Praetorians into this tower, as per your request. But you set your vile trap and scattered us.
Oh, I get it. You guys got separated.
You...
Please, Eri, stop.
Our general is just up there, not too far away. Please, head in that direction.
Oh? You're just in time. Although we haven't met, judging by the patterns on your garments, I assume you are Emaons, the caretakers of this ancient tower, correct? The vastness of this world is truly beyond mortal imagination. When I first heard about the Library of Babel, I dismissed it as mere ramblings of the common folk. Turns out this marvel really exists. I'm sure the Japhethian poets will compose 1,000 new epics about it. Allow me to express my sincere admiration. However, as you can see, we are lost inside this tower. Could you show us the way out?
Watch your tongue. A commoner like you has no right.
It's all right. They're the hosts here. It's only natural for them to ask the name of their guests. I am Sarvis, a senator of Japheth and a general serving Prince Rubicon. Lord Thuranos is a benevolent emperor who welcomes scholars from all corners of the world. We will be returning in a few days, and if you are interested in joining us, I can take you back to Javriel. But of course, that's on the condition that you lead us out of this fantastic labyrinth.
I've heard that Rubicon's ultimatum mentioned Memphis's god of the sun.
Until just now. Considering the time and location, it's safe to say that the Star of Ephrathah is Aten, which the Japhethian transported from the Arsacid Empire.
Atem, you mean the ancient god of the sun in Memphis? We've traveled all the way here to retreat. Do you have a problem with that? During our journey, my men gathered many records about Aten, and I've heard about your research on the god of the sun. But there's nothing I can do, as His Majesty has decreed that if there is a sun on Earth, it shall only rise above the eternal city and shine down upon his throne. As for the Emperor of Arsacid, well, I don't think his lousy chair deserves such high honor. Obed witnessed the rise of its first sun-wielding monarch, Darius. It's such a shame that his successor would fall so far.
Since you've come here for Aten, you must know how to harness it, right?
What do you mean by harnessing it? Are you suggesting it's a living being that can be controlled?
Yeah. With the right commands, you can order it to do anything you want. Wait, you didn't know that?
Commands? So that metal ball understands commands. Float, Ephrathah, deactivate? I'm utterly puzzled by what you're saying. I've heard that Emaon means mouthpieces of the gods in ancient languages. It is said that your task is to listen to prayers and provide answers, not ask questions. If you have forgotten your duties after all these years, I don't mind reminding you. Or are you trying to buy time? Are you using this labyrinth to separate us from Prince Rubicon and now asking questions to stall for time? also hope this is a misunderstanding, but your words and actions lack sincerity. If you want to clear up this misunderstanding, please lead us out of this labyrinth. What a shame. It seems you're intentionally delaying my return to His Highness. We have traveled all the way here, but failed to find worthy opponents. And my soldiers are eager for a proper fight. Now I'm afraid I'll have to ask you to fulfill their wish. Show us your legendary skills, Emaons. Take them down! Looks like you've had some professional combat training. Praiseworthy, but your coordination was a total You might be good in gladiator battles against beasts, but when it comes to my battle-hardened legion, you're as vulnerable as a kitten before a lion. Phalanx formation, soldiers! Don't underestimate our foe!
General, monsters are swarming in.
Hold the line! Maintain formation! Wipe out all those monsters and capture those Emaons alive!
What are you waiting for, Master Director?
Blooming from the flames.
Do you seriously think we can defeat the mighty Japheth Phalanx at the peak of their power? Just activate your amazing time machine and make a quick escape. Anywhere will do. Just stop with the questions and do something. Just go to the future, like a month later. Let's get away from them. Is your time travel ability malfunctioning or what? Are you sure you've sent us a month ahead?
Please stand down.
Dear Emaon, I bear no ill intentions. Have you forgotten our agreement? Thanks, Emeons. You truly are the mouthpieces of the gods. Following the divine words you delivered, we managed to appease the wrath of the god of the sun. It is you who have saved the world from destruction and allowed us to witness the true sun once more.
The people of Japheth, the Arzacid Empire, and all other regions should be grateful for the news you brought.
What are you even talking about?
I apologize for my excessive enthusiasm. This is the note you asked me to write down. I'm grateful, Your Highness. If it weren't for your intervention, I might have been lost in that labyrinth forever.
Don't mention it. High Priest Mirari insisted on bringing the Emeons along, and it turned out to be a wise decision. Otherwise, we would have been trapped on that endless stairway forever.
Speaking of Emeons, I encountered a few of them in the tower, and they were dressed in a peculiar fashion. They mentioned something beyond my comprehension. According to them, the copper sphere we transported back to Japheth appears to be a living entity or a device that can be activated through specific commands. They also claimed that the ancient god of the sun in Memphis would rise again over Ephrathah, and they held us responsible for this occurrence.
Where are those Emeons now?
I apologize, Your Highness. I had intended to capture them alive and gather more information. Although they were skilled fighters, their lack of coordination made them vulnerable, and we could have easily defeated them. However, just as my soldiers closed in on them, they vanished into thin air. At first I thought it was an illusion, but the marks left on my soldiers' weapons and armor are undeniably real.
Sarvis, after witnessing numerous miracles in the library, are you still amazed by such minor happenings? I won't be surprised by anything that happens within those infinite rooms. It astonishes me that Obed possesses such a treasure. If the claims of those Emians are true, the Library of Babel contains answers to all questions in the world. Regardless, that copper sphere, even if it is connected to the sun, doesn't matter anymore. The sun rises every day, but it doesn't provide answers to humanity's questions about the world.
Speaking of which, how is the negotiation progressing, High Priest?
The clerks have prepared the necessary documents, stating that the Arsacid Empire will become our vassal state in exchange for our protection. Once you add your signature, the contract will be sealed.
There is no need. The treaty is now null and void. Disseminate my orders. Instruct our soldiers to besiege the city. We shall capture Obed, seize the tower, and claim the library for Japheth. The library of the gods. I never realized that such a wondrous place truly existed in this world.
Your Highness?
I understand your perplexity, General. While reneging on our word is dishonorable, let's consider the fact that the Arsacid Empire is corrupt, and its emperor is an imbecile. If they attempt to exploit the power within the tower for nefarious purposes in the future, I believe you comprehend my concerns, Sarvis. Only Japheth possesses the power to safeguard this marvel from the unworthy.
A swift horse is approaching, Your Highness. The rider appears to be a messenger.
Bring him to me.
Greetings, Your Highness.
Rise. From where do you hail? And what tidings do you bring?
Your Highness, you commanded my unit to escort the God of the Sun back to Javriel. Several days ago, we arrived at Ephrathah on the eastern shore of the Philistine Sea, which is under Herod's dominion.
I know. Herod is one of my father's numerous vassals. Did he show any disrespect toward you?
No, quite the contrary. He treated us with great respect and insisted warmly that we stay at his royal court for the night. Then, at midnight, while we were sleeping, we were awakened by a radiant glow outside the palace. We went to investigate, and, to our astonishment, the sun had risen beneath the stars.
Did the wine addle your senses? What nonsense are you talking about?
What I speak is the truth, Your Highness. We witnessed it with our own eyes.
Go on. Tell me what happened.
Well, my servants, the soldiers slumber now. Now it's time for you to fulfill your promise to me. And should you dare to deceive me, your suffering will be 1,000-fold worse than your darkest nightmare.
Your Majesty, every word we speak is true. Our ancestors were once priests of Memphis, serving pharaohs for generations in the distant past. After the kingdom of pharaohs crumbled, we were exiled, but fortunate enough to find shelter in your court. Our deepest secrets are never recorded, but passed down through oral tradition among our closest blood relations. Among them lies the secret of the God of the Sun. During the era of Pharaoh Akhenaten, the priests discovered how
Wait, wait, wait.
Yet you do not hesitate to share such deepest secrets with me.
It's precisely because you are a benevolent and generous ruler. That's why we're willing to reveal these secrets to you. Thurnus is nothing more than a tyrant who has ravaged our lands. If it were not for your generosity, we would all be living as mere livestock now. Your Majesty, I cannot bear to see you continue to bow before that tyrant.
Benevolent? Generous? Such descriptions are rare, but you're correct about one thing. We are both kings, so why should I kneel before that tyrant and allow my country to be reduced to a mere province of Japheth? Very well. Let me see for myself if your claims hold true.
All deeds have consequences. All debts must be paid.
Arise, sun. From this moment onward, even the stars shall pale in comparison to the sun I have awakened!
Asti, hand me the sword.
I take back what I said about our director being an imbecile. Having a time machine at our disposal is actually pretty convenient. Well, it depends on how you interpret what I'm saying. What? Finally done dealing with me? The former #1 director candidate?
The Collected Letters of Obed Royal Family. Volume 3, Darius, the King of All Kings, written by a historian from the Obed court. The second half is blank. Looks like this volume is incomplete. It appears that we have indeed arrived in the era of Darius, around 500 years before the 5th Emperor's reign. That Emeon we encountered mentioned that Darius was the one who first brought Aten from Memphis to Obed. Sarvis also mentioned that Darius was the first ruler of Obed to harness the power of the sun.
I see. The fact that the Japheth soldiers didn't know the command to activate Aten suggests that it had already been lost by their time. Compared to the era of Japheth, the era of Darius was closer to the era of Aten, which means Darius is more likely to know the command to activate Aten.
Besides, there's something else that concerns me. The giant we just encountered. Actually, we might have encountered it once before. Back in our time, when you entered the Tower of Babel and activated the dormant beacon, we came across something very similar, Sia. Indeed. The giant in our time was missing its lower half, so I can't say for sure if it's the same giant. Moreover, I'm sure you remember the stuff we got from the mutilated giant. According to Master Ninsar, it belonged to Darius. So, it must have come from this era.
Sorry for interrupting your discussion, but that was the first time I saw that huge guy. So that giant has been after you? What did you do to anger it so much?
We didn't do anything.
Dear Emeon, I bear no ill intentions. Have you forgotten our agreement?
We don't have enough information to understand the reason behind it yet.
One moment he wanted to kill us, and the next moment he was happy to see us.
Just to confirm, when we met Sarvis for the second time, it was a month after our first encounter, right?
Did you figure something out, or... I'm afraid so. Sarvis didn't have a clue about Aten's activation during our first encounter. But in the second encounter, he mentioned that they had somehow appeased the wrath of the god of the sun. So during that month, Aten must have been reactivated and turned into the star of Ephrathah. Sarvis also said that we delivered divine words and saved the world from destruction. It means that we were the ones who helped deactivate Aten, extinguishing the star of Ephrathah. Remember what Enki said?
Be careful. The prophecy may actualize itself.
Actions taken to prevent tragedy can end up causing it. Now I understand that Sarvis wasn't exaggerating when he said we saved the entire world from destruction. After Aten was reactivated, its power must have kept increasing, just like when it destroyed Akedaton. Imagine what would happen if a fusion reactor continues to increase its power output without being shut down. We obtained the command and delivered it to Sarvis. However, it wasn't us from the present. Rather, it was us from some point in the future. Because of our time travels, the prophecy actualized itself. Sure.
There is no other choice.
Now we're not just responsible for saving the library in our era, but also saving the world in Sarvis's era.
We must move on and find the command to deactivate Aten, and deliver it to Sarvis. If we fail, both eras will veer off their intended paths and collapse completely.
I'm not going to answer that. There are a bunch of geezers in Emaon who specialize in time paradoxes. I've never paid attention to their lectures. All I know is that it would be very, very, very bad. Who are those people?
Judging by their attire, they must be the Immortal Army, Darius's Praetorians.
Of course I know that, but why are there so many Immortal Army soldiers wandering inside the library in this era?
Your Majesty.
Hey! They can't even hear us. Never mind. Let's keep going. We'll surely find someone we can reason with, right?
Those who betray His Majesty will pay with their lives. In the mighty name of Darius, the King of all kings.
It's those pesky creatures again. Hey, use your time-stopping ability on them.
The fire is burning.
Halt, Oriole. End up like the sacrifices hanging there.
The fire is burning.
This era. It's truly weird.
Obviously, those Immortal Army soldiers have been wandering around inside the library for quite some time. Otherwise, they wouldn't be so worn out.
What exactly happened?
The records about Emaon are not detailed, as their leader Pythagoras mysteriously vanished without a trace one day.
Emaon's historical records are all but blank during this era. There are simply too many coincidences happening in this era. We need to be extra cautious.
Look, after this part of chapter, I will end this stream.
The stars. They appear so distant, yet shine so brightly.
Your Majesty, Farhad requests an audience.
It is you, my most courageous servant. How does the wine taste at the celebration?
The wine was exquisite, benefiting the conquerors of Memphis. We all wonder why you didn't join us in the Great Feast of Honor. Why do you remain secluded in this corner, far from the bonfire, without even a single guard? Have we done anything to displease you?
Not at all, Fahad. I am staying away from the crowds to gaze at the stars. The campfire's brightness would obscure their light. Have you ever considered where our conquest will end, Farhad?
No, Your Majesty. I shall fight wherever you deem necessary. Until the farthest reaches of your dominion touch the sea, or until I fall on the battlefield.
Your loyalty is commendable. But what I'm seeing now is even more distant than the sea. There was an Emian scholar named Pythagoras who told me that according to his research, the land beneath our feet is a sphere.
A sphere? How is that?
That you can't imagine it. However, I can easily imagine that there may exist countless such spheres suspended high above the heavens. We call those spheres stars. The notion that these stars are fragments of Earth adrift in the firmament. So many uncharted territories awaiting conquest. Do you understand my feelings, Fahad? In comparison, Memphis, no, even the entirety of Obed, pales in significance. I wonder how I can travel to those stars to conquer those lands no one has ever seen. How pathetic is a man so bound by his desires. From now on, I shall find no peace in my nights.
Fret not, Your Majesty. We, the Immortal Army, will always be your keenest blades. Even if you were to command us to conquer the moon, we would comply without hesitation.
You truly are my favorite servant, Fahad. Arise, for I shall share my glory and dreams with you. One day we'll leave our footprints across the entire expanse.
Oh no. Oh no, no, no. Oh no. Wait. What is happening? Are you nuts? Are you nuts? Oh my god. It's not okay. Wait. Wait. Oh no. Oh no. Okay, let me see. Aha!
One day we'll leave our footprints across the entire expanse of the sky. So, it was but a dream. I'm feeling cold. Am I already so old that I'm plagued by such vivid dreams? I used to believe that only the inept dream, for they possess nothing in reality. Is the heavens telling me that I'm no different from those commoners? My time is running out. Emeons, I'm summoning you to demand an answer I have long awaited. A decade has passed since my triumph in Memphis. I have given you so much time to unravel the mysteries of the God of the Sun. My subjects comply with my commands, never disturbing your research or prying into your tower. Only during the 6th and final month of each year do my emissaries visit you to ask about the progress of your research. You should know that it is a supreme honor, and that I have shown you extraordinary generosity, which no other Obed emperors have ever bestowed upon you. However, my messengers disappointed me every time, as your response of nothing has remained unchanged. Now, I've decided to ask you this question myself. This is your 10th year. Have you learned more about the nature of that copper sphere? What grants it immortality?
Your Majesty, our answer remains the same. You may perceive 10 years as a considerable length of time. For a human life, it is indeed substantial. However, for those devoted to the pursuit of knowledge, it is merely a fleeting moment akin to the evaporation of morning dew. Undoubtedly, that sphere represents a creation that transcends the limits of human understanding. Even if it is not a deity in its own right, its creator must possess divine qualities. We need more time to figure out its true essence.
Time. Time. What extravagant request. I, too, would grant you more time if I were able. Unfortunately, the time given to me is dwindling. The sand in the hourglass is running out. I am growing old, and my time is slipping away, while the boundless, unconquered worlds still await me. I am asking you once again, Emeon. Do you indeed have nothing to give me in return?
Your Majesty, I hold you in the highest regard, but I must inform you that neither your Majesty nor your power hold sway within the realm of knowledge. Though you may command all on Earth to declare that the sun rises in the west, it will still be the eastern sky that illuminates the next dawn. I can assure you that we're more eager than you to learn the nature of the sphere. It is the calling of the scholar.
I see. You're unable to offer what I seek in exchange for my leniency. I extend my regrets to you, Emeon. Since the beginning of history, this will be the first time the Emperor of Obed resorts to violence against Amion. If I had a choice, I wouldn't wish to make this decision.
You may rule over this land, Your Majesty. And while you may intimidate those who seek knowledge, the laws governing knowledge itself do not yield to mere might.
Immortal Army, at my command, open this tower and seize their library! If this library is as miraculous as the legends proclaim, containing the sum of all worldly knowledge, it must surely hold the secret to immortality and the immortal power of that copper sphere. Since the mouthpieces of the gods remain silent to my request, I'll uncover the answer myself.
We can't prevent you if you're determined to do so, Your Majesty. Permit me, however, to offer a final piece of advice. The gods remain silent due to the folly of humankind.
That was the last question I will ever pose to you. From now on, you are no longer permitted to address me. Immortal Army, storm their tower and breach their gates. Amion, I have heard tales that the paths within the Library of Babel are more numerous than the stars in the sky, and the smallest misstep can lead to eternal wandering. I've also heard you've devoted countless time and lives to explore that library, and that you've even familiarized yourself with a number of safe paths. I command you to lead the way for my warriors, and you have no right to refuse.
There was once a
Will deeper thinking in the future lead us to fully understand the human heart? Clear, logical thinking ensures progress up the ladder of philosophy.
It looks like the moon is currently in its full phase. The moon is currently in its full phase.
Asti, hand me the sword.
Let's begin. The grand hunt beneath the full moon!
Pluck the heartstrings. Here's the heart.
May their souls rest in a garden full of blooming flowers. This glory is the finest crown.
I seem to see more things. Are those memories? I will record these experiences. Complete insight. Complete insight. Complete insight.
Looks like you've run into a bit of trouble.
Ansu. End it all. Fall. Fluttering wings. Fluttering wings.
This path is blocked.
Asti, hand me the sword.
Let's begin. The grand hunt beneath the full moon!
The fire is burning. May their souls rest in a garden full of blooming flowers. This glory is the finest crown.
Strength is the backing of the law.
Asti, hand me the sword.
Let's begin. The grand hunt beneath the full moon!
The fire is burning. May their souls rest in a garden full of blooming flowers. This glory is the finest crown.
I am the law. Strength is the backing of the law.
The blade is sharper now.
Asti, hand me the sword.
Let's begin. The grand hunt beneath the full moon!
It seems you still can't stop the moon's cycle. Ah, well done. Keep up the good work.
Asti, hand me the sword.
Let's begin. The grand hunt beneath the full moon!
The fire is burning, blooming from the flames. May their souls rest in a garden full of blooming flowers. This glory is the finest crown.
This brings back memories. Just like when my grandmother used to teach me as a child. A single lamp can't light up the entire night. Will you join me? Perhaps we'll see more.
A warrior uses martial arts to defy the law, be it a blade or a person. It all depends on the wielder.
Repetitive hammering is an essential process. Hundreds of strikes, all leading to the final step of quenching. Repetitive hammering is an essential process.
It brings back memories of attending classes at TownClan. Asti, hand me the sword.
Let's begin. The grand hunt beneath the full moon!
The fire is burning. May their souls rest in a garden full of blooming flowers. This glory is the finest crown.
update my status to celebrate. Will this make me trending? It won't. Bummer. The journey has taken another step forward.
So I think we will have the live stream and bye bye. See ya.